Report number 3.
Okay, thank you, Bishop Williamson. I'm Weldon Barres, white male. I won't say how old I am, but my first bishop was Francis Asbury. And he had nothing on the moves, dance moves of Bishop Williamson. You got him beat. I know we've been sitting for a long time, and the tendency is to get a little bit drowsy, a little bit dozy, but I would just warn you, try not to do that. I think back to when I first started out in the ministry. I was at a conference gathering, and Reverend Moses Jackson was the preacher for that day, and he was speaking about the parable of the Last Judgment and the sheep and the goats. I was in the room sitting way in the back and kind of dozy, and my eyes were closing. And he started telling the story, and he said, "The Lord will say to the goats, 'Depart from me, you who work iniquity.' Then he will say to the sheep," and keep in mind my name is Weldon, he said he will say to the sheep, 'Well done, thou good and faithful servant.'" And then he emphasized it, "Well done, well done, well done." And I really thought he was calling out my name because I was dozing. Really got my attention. So if I see you dozing, I just may say, "Tom Doff, Tom Doff, Tom Doff." We come now to CFA Report number 3. As I pointed out on Wednesday morning, our financial situation, thankfully, is strong and healthy. I call our attention to page 103 in the pre-conference report to our finances at the United Methodist Foundation. Our balance at the beginning of the year was $97.3 million. This balance included funds that we had received from disaffiliated churches. Over the year, our conference distributed a little over $3.5 million, and we earned $12.6 million on the investments. Our year-end balance was $106.4 million. So even after spending $3.5 million of our interest earnings, we still increased our fund balances by $9.1 million, and that trend is projected to continue. Page 102 is entitled Funding the Mission. Now, these figures and projections are based on a very conservative rate of 6%. And our projection is that after distributions of $4.6 million, which is a 3.7% figure, our fund balance is projected to reach $121.1 million. And that's why CFA believes that our commitment to keeping apportionment stable is the right thing to do, and then using our strategic reserves and interest earnings to fund our current 2026 budget and also our budget for 2027. CFA also believes that this funding model is the most faithful and responsible step forward in our shared journey to build and connect and equip for a transformative future. Our budget for 2027 was presented on Wednesday morning, and our plan for funding the budget is found on page 102. Our funding for the budget comes from 3 main sources. Source number 1 is apportionments from our local churches. Source number 2 are strategic reserves, and source number 3 is investment income from the fund balances. With source number 1, apportionments, and our essential commitment to keeping apportionments at the same rate for 2027, based on a collection rate of 85%, CFA is budgeting apportionment income at $2.1 million. And if there is a higher payout, that number, of course, will increase. This year, our conference is currently receiving 2%, or $2.4 million from the fund balance. And because of that, our apportionments went down by 20% in 2026. As it was approved at last year's annual conference. Let me just point out that serious research from the fund managers at Merrill Lynch, and they ran multiple simulations using our own conference data, they have determined that an annual distribution of up to 5% can be applied safely. So according to the experts, 5% is the safe and responsible number. It's not too much, that would put our reserves at risk, and it's not too little. It's kind of like Goldilocks, not too much and not too little, but just right. And so our plan for 2027 is to have a 3.75% annual distribution, or $4.6 million. And that amount of 3.75%, along with our apportionments, fully funds our budget of $5.1 million. And this amount that we're talking about today also provides strategic reserves that are necessary to fund congregational vitality and black church ministries and to enable the Board of Pensions to keep on providing the Health Flex insurance premiums in credits in 2028. So once again, with apportionment staying at the current level, and then drawing 3.75% from the earnings on our investments of $106 million, our annual conference can fully fund our 2027 missional priorities to evangelize a new generation while embracing and pursuing diversity, creating a call for both laity and clergy, giving priority to congregational vitality and leadership development, and faithfully and creatively telling the story of our annual conference. And don't forget something else that's pretty important. This plan that we're talking about today enables our conference to pay 100% of our general conference and jurisdictional conference apportionments. And that says a lot. It really does. That is supporting and doing the work of Christ right here in this country and all around the world. And so our budget for 2027 and this plan for funding the budget in a safe and balanced and responsible way actually builds upon the solid financial stability of our annual conference to do the work of the church and to keep on doing the work of the church to build and connect and equip and to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. Our annual conference today is on solid ground, not because of finances, but because of Jesus Christ, who is the solid rock, the rock of ages. So Bishop Williamson, this concludes CFA Report number 3. If there are any questions, easy questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Any tough questions, go straight to Steve Barlow or Van Stinson. That's the deal that we have.
Thank you. The adoption of the proposed 2027 budget is before the conference for consideration. The question, are there any questions or discussion? So microphone 1, and then we'll go to the next.
Emily Carroll, pastor at Asbury and St. Matthew in Shreveport, African-American female. My question as it relates to the budget is for approximately 2 years, the LaFone Home Grant and 2 to 3 other grants. The website has stated, while these grants remain available, we are not currently accepting applications at this time. So my question is, can you please share what is happening with those funds and at what point will they be made available for grants from the conference?
Okay, that goes down to some details. So Van, are you aware of the specific details with it?
So I think, Reverend Carroll, thank you. That is a good question. One of the, as I am recalling, that decision was made through the transition period during disaffiliation. To my knowledge, those funds, once we begin this new process, will be available for application. The Mission and Mercy team, who is responsible for overseeing that, will remove that distinction or that restriction and make sure those applications are once again available.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Microphone 2, please identify yourself.
Reverend Dick Humphreys, senior adult white male, retired clergy from the North District. Weldon and I work closely together. I, as chair of the Board of Pensions and Health Benefits, but also we work together as members of the investment subcommittee. And I want to applaud the work of CFNA. This is excellent work and a very transparent report, particularly on pages 102 and 103. Thank you again for all your hard work, Weldon, as well as CFNA. As you see the numbers, the growth in our fund balances from 97 to projected 121 million. This is incredible. This is a large amount of money, primarily from 2 excellent years on the stock market, and those increases are quite impressive. We've had conversations before today, Weldon and I, and I'm also hearing from members of the SIT team as well as CFNA who are not thrilled with the lack of specificity about what we might do with these incredible outpourings of blessings as our fund balances grow. This is maybe not the purview of CFNA, but I would like to highlight this growth and encourage the SIT team, the cabinet, or whoever are the stakeholders and decision makers for the conference about what to do with these monies. It's wonderful if we think we might want to put it away for some rainy day fund, but for many of the churches, it's already raining. So I just encourage you to seriously consider whoever's in charge of making these kind of decisions, especially strategic decisions for the help of our churches, not only in North Louisiana, where I live and hear about a lot, but all across the conference. What are the ways we can resource our churches so they can continue to not only survive but thrive and make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world? Thank you for what you do.
That is a speech for, okay. Is there a speech against adopting the budget? Would go into a microphone. All right, I see no one. Are you ready for the question? Will you adopt the 2027 budget for the Louisiana Conference as presented by CFA? If so, please raise your green card. Amen. All right. If you do not approve, please raise your red card. Okay, it carries. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.